got the video gate fired up right now, so do what you gotta do.
Hello. Where's my watt meter? Oh, we're on the beam, that's why. Hello. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you got the video gate rolling?
Yeah, it's rolling. Come on.
Okay, this is the radio basically it kind of in a stock configuration. There's like a hidden menu. There's a hidden menu in the thing that you can go into, turn up the, widen the thing out. But this is, when I first power the thing up, if it's off, it defaults. It defaults to this if you're on AM. Defaults to the narrow mode, but you can totally tell the difference on the monitor, the talkback thing. You can tell when it's in that mode. The only thing you have to do is just bump it to sideband, just key for just a split second. Just hit the push to talk once, and it engages it. All right, hang on, let me switch over and activate it. Hang on. All right, here we go. 922. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the wide mode, worldwide mode. Let me see what it sounds like on the speaker's too close to the mic. It's hard to do this. Hello, 1111, 922. How's it sound?
Sounding good, man. What you need to do is get some headphones, plug it into the front of that Cobra 2 Grand, and turn the speakers off, man. Turn the speakers off or unplug the speakers and use it for a monitoring.
Yeah. Well, I was going to try, well, I didn't have the headphones, but I was going to try to hear what the audio sounded like. I was getting like that feedback stuff, and that turned into kind of a clusterfuck. So I plug in the phono jack in the front of the thing, and also when I came to pull the thing back out, I lost my audio on the, the external speakers. Like, what the fuck? So I'm screwing around, plugging the thing off, in and out, and I still hear audio coming out of the phono jack, low-level audio, but nothing out of speaker jacks. Like, fuck, did I spike the audio amp in the thing or something? And so finally, when I was kind of inadvertently, I flipped it to PA mode. So suddenly I could hear the audio again. So I knew the audio amp was good. So I narrowed it down. That it was that little tang that's in those phono jacks. When you plug them in, it disconnects the other speakers from the circuit. So it was dirty. So I got in with my contact cleaner and sprayed some in there and just worked it back and forth. And finally started working again. So I was like, I shouldn't leave that damn thing alone. It might be on borrowed time. Then I got to figure out how to bypass it. So I haven't tried it on this radio, but the black one had that issue. So I thought I'd screwed the thing up just by plugging a phono jack in it, but it turned out it was just that little disconnect tab in there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I was having the same problem when I plugged into the front. Now you mentioned that. I was telling you the other day, because I plugged in the front, I was going to run just to see if it sounded better from the front or from the back. And dude, that's when kind of like it was feeding back, getting the talk back.
Yeah, that's what I found. Like I said, if you, they seem susceptible to RF, first of all, because every one I've had here, if I'm running through my meters and amps, and even though the amp's not on, I'll hear myself come through the speaker, annoying as hell. But if I screw it into a dummy load, it all goes away. So I knew it was RF just kind of getting into stuff. All right, it's just kind of a shielding issue. But if I plug the coax right off the antenna where it comes in the house, right in the radio, it's fine. It don't give me a problem, with the exception of the beam, which is right over my head. But the other day when I was playing with the black one, it was talking back big time. It was like it'd done it ever since I got the thing. And so if I did the same test, screwed a dummy load in, it didn't make absolutely no difference. It sounded just as it does as an antenna's in there or when the dummy load's in there. So when I pulled that phono jack out, working on it, I keyed the thing up and it was gone. So that's when I saw like those little plastic tabs or plastic rings that are in there that insulate stuff. If they're touching to the case or something, you'll get that talkback thing there.
Yeah, roger now. Yeah, I think that's what happened to this. But I got to bring my Cobra 2 Grand. I put dude, the Cobra 2 Grand on the my audio system. I pump it in there. It every now and then it kind of like drops out. Then all I do is turn the juice up on I think it's the stereo myself. I think it's the stereo amp. So I turn it up real loud and turn it back down. It seems to kick in. Kind of how you do the sideband thing, you know what I mean? and I accidentally had it cranked up a little higher than normal, and I talked into it. Poof. So I got to take it back to Dago. Damn it. I got to take it back to Dago and replace the Chinga, but it's all good. But I'm back on the 148 now.
Yeah, I was wondering that while you're back on that radio. So what gets knocked out when you run too much audio? You knock out like that IC6 chip in there or something else?
Yeah, it's just a little cap we put in there. You know what I mean? It's just a little cap that's kind of like bypass and everything. And it just blows it out, man. Just blows it out. But damn, I was doing so good. You know what I mean?
Wonder what voltage rating that thing is. Wonder if he's got a light voltage one. Maybe run one with a higher voltage capacity. Maybe it'll minimize that chance of that happening if you accidentally do it again.
Yeah. It'd be nice to have like a little cutoff. Be nice to have a little cutoff, where it cuts it off. Boom.
Yeah. While he's got it there, you might as well just have him align the whole thing. Just have him go through the whole thing. In fact, it'd be a good time to look at your frequency counter. In fact, if I talk to him, if he starts working on that thing, I'd tell him before you do anything, just to make sure that there's nothing wrong with the counter, rather than problems with those coax connections that go to the frequency counter that plug in there, some bad connection or something. Take your counter out of your radio and plug into his radio. And if it does the same thing, then you know it's a counter issue. If it starts working, then you know it's an interconnect problem. So I did that when I first got that black one because I was getting the 92 blah blah blah. But it'll do that if it loses its 35 meg signal. That's what it mixes it all. All the mixing's based on that, and then it makes the calculation.
Yeah. Well, we placed all the stuff in there, but the one thing, when I bought this radio and I had it for a week, remember I bought it brand new in the box, so basically it was just sitting the whole time in a box for 1977 to now, baby. Or not 77. What was this year on this one? I forget the year this thing was, but it's just been sitting, and then the freak counter freaked out, and I was talking to Mike over there, and he plugged the chip in, or whatever, and he said it worked with the chip, but he called RF Parts, and they didn't have the chip. You know what I mean?
Well, when he plugged one in, did he put a socket in that thing? Where actually that IC12 is socketed, because they're soldered into the board. They do that. What the hell they call that process? Wave soldering. When they built them radios and stuff, they put all the components in the board, then it kind of goes down an assembly line, and they all get soldered all at once, like this wave of solder, and just solders everything. There's like something they put on the board, so it solders, start soldering places you don't want to, start bridging stuff. But anyway, it's all soldered together up there. There is no factory, sockets to plug stuff in unless he took that thing out and put a socket in for you.
No, I think he unsoldered. I'm just saying he put a chip in it. He put a chip in it, and he said, dude, that's what it is. It's the chip. And our parts at the time, they didn't have a chip. And he said they were like $7 or whatever. He said it was on their site, but they didn't have it.
Yeah, it's obsolete. You can still get them, but they're obsolete. There's one guy on eBay that's selling for $5 a piece. And then I kind of did some digging around and found a guy. Where the hell is he at? He's somewhere back in New York or something, selling for $2 a piece, those chips. So I had him send me 10, Cost more to ship the thing than actual chips. Like, give me 10 of them things. So I was actually planning on, when I get all settled down, work on these radios, and put like a little frequency counter repair kit together that has those 2 FETs that Dago changed. If I can find those cheap for like a couple bucks or something like that. Supply those 2 FETs, and then that one preamp chip there. Got a problem with 92.2? $20 kit right here.
Yeah, there you go, man. Shoot, 20. What are you talking about, dude? That should be a $40 kit, baby. $40 kit for $35.95. No, I hear you, man. Yeah. Changed out the tube, so all that's left is the chip. And he told me it was the chip. Mike did. He said he replaced mine with the one out of another radio, and he said it worked. So, but at the time he couldn't get a chip, so that'll be cool, man. To have the free counter. I want to get my free counter. I want to get it lined up on sideband too. I want to get it lined up on sideband. I almost would like to cut the clarifier loose, man. I would almost like to just cut the clarifier loose.
Well, that's a must. That's a worthwhile mod there. There's a bunch. The two radios, out of all the radios I've got, those 2 grands, 2 of them had the same mod done to it, and supposedly to open up the clarifier, but the transmit doesn't follow. The transmit doesn't budge at all. This radio and the one that Dago's got had the exact same mod done to it. Like what? And until after doing some reading, people that doing the same mod, apparently there's clarifier mods out there that work, and some that don't. I mean, you get the extended slide, but the transmit doesn't move. So I was like, what the fuck's the point with that? It's kind of stupid, but trying to wait to find a working mod that'll do it. Yeah, you definitely want to do that. You definitely want to do that. The 2, all the aces I had here, I pretty much lined it up. After I get them all done on the bench there, according to the frequency counter. But for the final sideband thing, because I know my Yaesu's right on the money. It's got that high stability oscillator. I'll make the final tweaks just listening to myself coming over the air on that thing on sideband.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm talking about, man. So I'd like to get this thing lined up on sideband, and the watts are pretty down on this radio. I don't know, man. The watts are really down on this radio.
Yeah, yours and mine both. Oh, I didn't check it when I was in the garage, but it's definitely putting out about 1.5 more watts down on channel 1 than it is at 40. So it's the lower in frequency I go, the more closer to resonance the amplifier section is. So I don't know if I got that one kind of funky trimmer pot in the final stage there. I'm gonna replace that when that comes in later this week. Hopefully it'll make a difference. If not, it is what it is. It's probably some capacitor value that's changed. It's kind of goofed things up, but I don't know. I'll keep playing with it. As I get bored, but man, I've got my hand full of this one. I wasn't expecting this much work with this damn radio. Figured, oh cool, get it $75, put the thing together and keep it or sell it or whatever. And 2 months later, because I haven't worked on it constantly, 2 months later I'm still chasing around with that goddamn thing. It was just a total nightmare radio. I mean, it was some fucked up shit in there. Besides the corrosion on the two of the IF amplifiers, because after I put that preamp mod in there, I did the receiver mod on the thing, and so after I got done, the receiver was numb. It was like it didn't hear worth a shit. I was like, what the hell? Of course, you're figuring, all right, something I did. Maybe I got the transistor in backwards. You're figuring it's something you did because prior to that it was working fine. So you look and fuck. So I finally put a stock one back in, and it's still the same thing. Motherfucker. So then I go the next amp forward, thinking maybe I knocked that one out because this is the amps that amplify the stuff coming in right off the antenna, essentially. And still nothing. So then I start looking. I'm going around the IF sections because they got the same sort of transistors that boost up the IF signal. And when I got to the third one, as I was taking them out to test them, it has 3 legs on the transistor. And I unsoldered one leg, and the thing just dropped out. I'm thinking, what the hell? And they were all rusted out. The legs had gotten corrosion on them and just rusted through by me just jostling the radio. They broke out. And there was like another one was in the same condition. So, fuck, that took me about 2 days to figure that shit out. But it's kind of like, all right, the radio's working fine. The receiver's kicking ass. It's working good. And then I put the receiver mod in, and all of a sudden it dies. It's just numb. I'd mull a big signal with my signal generator, and it's not even doing shit. Like, what the hell? So you're thinking, something you did right there. At least that's how I think anyway, trying to deduct what happened. And here it is at the other side of the radio, nothing related to what I did. It would just happen to be pure coincidence.
Yeah, Roger on that. No, I hear what you're saying. You change a couple things, and dude, there's nothing worse. That's why I always tell people when you're doing some mods, don't do all 20 of them at one time, bro. Do the one mod, check it, and then, because I see some people, they're going to do all 50 mods or whatever. Dude, You